we don't do any paid media, that means all our marketing is free. That is absolutely not true, and I'm going to talk you through why that is.
Hello and welcome to Engage and Thrive, also known as EAT, your coffee catch-up with me, your host, Taelon, where we will go through common problems and hurdles that come up in business, marketing and advertising and try and demystify them. I know firsthand how complicated and confusing it can seem with all the different acronyms and all the things to do in business. So let me try and help you be better in business. First things first, let's start with grabbing a coffee.
People may refer to it as organic marketing. So when we're talking about organic marketing, it means you're not putting any money behind Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, PR, anything like that in terms of paid for marketing activity, offline events, anything like that. The one thing to bear in mind with this, and which is such a big misconception, is that time is a currency. So your time in doing that free marketing activity, the organic marketing, has a value behind it. And as the sooner you understand the value behind your time or other people's time and what you're doing, the better understanding you'll have around how much it's actually costing you to do organic marketing. Now, I will say up front, I'm a massive fan of organic marketing. I think it's probably one of the best things people could be investing their time and money in, especially nowadays with AI and everything changing. Paid for marketing is such a busy space to be in, whereas organic marketing is, it by nature being organic, it's true to your authentic self and authentic brand. So everything you're doing, you're building your own communities, your own websites, your own email marketing, whatever it is. So just to identify that, I do think organic marketing is a good tool in your toolbox of doing your activities, but the time has a value to it. So the next thing to go through is Vocab. The first one is CPL, which is cost per lead. So every lead that you have come through or inquiry will have a cost behind it, even if it is from organic marketing. Then is SEO, search engine optimization. Then we have CRM, so customer relationship management. So this may be a tool that you're using if you have a lot of inquiries coming in to actually manage people in your pipeline or your funnels and how you're responding to them. And the last one is ROI, so return on investment. Today we're going to go through 3 key takeaways, which are basically going to work through how you find those costs associated to your organic marketing. And I'm going to keep reiterating that organic marketing, although is a lower cost activity, it's not completely free because time has a value behind it. But the first one, number 1 to go through is software tools and costs. So there'll be tools that you're using to create your organic marketing, and you may forget that those have a cost behind it. For example, if you're using Canva to create some of your graphics, whether it's your posts or your stories, you may have upgraded and be paying for that annual subscription. Then there'll be things like your website will have a domain cost every year and a hosting cost every year. That's excluding anyone else involved in actually doing anything. Then you may be paying for email marketing platforms. So MailChimp, for example, if you buy credits or anything like that, those are all tools that have costs associated to them that it's worth just kind of like itemizing out each thing you use for your free marketing activities to work out where those costs are coming from, what they cost, monthly or annually, and break it down. Okay, the next one is number 2, which is people costs. So now to think about your people costs. You may say, I don't have a team of people, but actually you use a photographer or a videographer to come and do a one-off shoot for you. That's the people cost behind it. And even those costs you may have as an ad hoc, if you work that out as your monthly cost to build up to your annual cost, this is, I suppose, kind of going into your profit and loss accounts and everything, but keep that one in mind. Then you may use freelancers to do website updates for you, or copywriting, or a one-off press release, or whatever. Again, those are all people costs associated. Then the big one, and especially if you're a business owner or a solopreneur or a one-man band or one female band marketing team, your time has a cost associated to it. So if you were thinking about what it would cost for you to outsource your time, so if someone wanted to bill for 1 hour of your time or a day of your time, or what's your annual salary if you're an employee, Think about that and then break it down to the percentage you spend on organic activity. So, for example, how much time per week do you spend on creating social content, scheduling social content, and posting social content? That has a cost, right? So, therefore, the people cost behind that social media content creation is one. The same could be said if you're writing a blog per week or updating your website copy. Again, that's your time. So it's worth getting one of those time tracker apps and actually tracking the time that you're spending doing these activities to understand how much time and therefore how much it's actually costing the business, or do you need to have additional people? But all of those will have a cost associated around it, which kind of nicely leads into number 3, the why, the measurement, the optimization. So once you've kind of rounded up all of those costs for your software, your people, if you have any other overheads, which for the purpose of this is probably not overhead around your organic marketing, and we'll go into this in another episode when we're talking about your cost per acquisition and you're doing an overarching of how much all your marketing activity costs you. So if we're just thinking about your organic marketing and you've now got your time cost for your time that you're spending doing your content creation for social media or for your websites or your email marketing or whatever, now it's worth analysing by channel how much each of those are costing you and to see what's your return on investment for that activity. So you might work out that you're only spending 1 hour a month doing your email marketing, but actually that's where you get the most sales. Well, that's an easy win. You need to then either allocate more of your time to do your email marketing because you know you're going to get a good return on investment, or you may want to outsource that to actually have someone to do it. This is when you start reviewing what your time value is, your cost of your time versus outsourcing it, or, to use a freelancer or an extended team. The one to think about, though, that I think is such a time hog that we all kind of miss is social media. And I was listening to a podcast recently where someone was talking around if you spent as much time doing social media content creation as you do SEO creation, like, can you imagine the impact? So if you think about it, when we're all talking about growing our own communities and spaces in organic marketing, and I will always advocate to growing it in your email marketing and your website, do you spend as much time every week on your website and your email marketing as you do creating and posting your social media content? Because again, we know that social media is rented land. But to bring it all back, and why this, I suppose, is the most important one and the beauty of understanding it is once you understand the beauty of, once you understand the cost associated for each of these organic marketing activities, you can then allocate your budget more effectively and your time allocation, I suppose, if it's more the solopreneurs and smaller marketing teams, about where you're getting your return on investment, right? How does that align with your business objectives and your KPIs that you're working towards? Therefore, what should you be doing? So, for example, as well, we know that organic marketing takes a lot longer to convert than paid media. So this is where, if you have a look at your time allocations and your budget allocations of what you're actually spending on your organic marketing and your business objectives, realign it and then go, oh, okay, do we actually need to do some paid for advertising in this space because that's the objective we're trying to achieve sooner, quicker, which a lot of time people say they want all the activity yesterday. But I suppose to just wrap up on this long rambling around organic marketing, the one thing just to bear in mind is whatever you think you're doing around organic marketing, and you are doing around organic marketing, although it may be free to post or free to use these platforms or whatever, your time has a value. Your time is currency. So just bear that in mind and make sure you're tracking that to understand, because at the end of the day, that's time not spent doing other business activities or not utilized in other ways. So that really is important to understand that your time has a currency, and organic marketing, as much as it's free to use, is not free to do. But thank you for joining me for another episode of Engage and Thrive with your host Taelon, and see you next week.